What is up, Spurs fans? It's time to celebrate. As you know, the San Antonio Spurs got the first pick in the draft, the first pick in the lottery. I'm hyped. I'm excited. You know what I mean? I'm repping my Spurs. I've been repping my Spurs all week, and I'm excited, man. We got Victor Wembanyama. He looks happy. He looks like he was been wanting to come to the Spurs. And I mean, I was a little bit happy. I'm sorry, the Rockets fans. I was a little bit happy I didn't get him. I was the one team I did not want him to go to for him to go to, but I'm happy that he's coming to the Spurs, and I'm still in shock from it, and I can't wait, man. I'm really ready for next season. I'm ready for. We'll get to that right now. We got multiple topics today. Of course, we got Wemby to the Spurs. Of course, we're gonna be talking about the top five picks, since those were the only ones that really moved around. So they were literally the only ones in the lottery that moved around. And then we'll talk about the Lakers game one, Lakers and Nuggets game one. And we'll talk about game one, which is today, of the Celtics versus the Miami Heat. And we'll talk about some fights that the UFC announced. We got ourselves a good video today, some good topics, and let's get going. And of course, Victor Wembanyama to the San Antonio Spurs. Of course, it's not official, but we all know San Antonio Spurs landed the first overall pick, and I'm excited here. I'm just, man, it feels great. It feels great to have, man, San Antonio was going crazy. They're honking the horns downtown. And, we are very excited here in San Antonio to have Victor Wembanyama. And now, the unofficial starting lineup of the San Antonio Spurs: Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. And man, I'm excited for this. I can't. I'm still speechless about it. And of course, there's conversations about Trey Jones. He is up for an extension, second round pick, so he doesn't have an extra team option. Yeah, I believe he'll get his extension but for me, I think I'm not sure what the future is about Trey Jones. I want him to be a Spur. He is a very good point guard. I see him as a Avery Johnson, or a guy who can win 6 Man of the Year awards for the Spurs. But I like, of course we have him. Of course we have Malachi Branham, who was drafted last year, and of course Blake Wesley. But I think I really like Malachi Branham as our point guard possibly for the future. But I'm still rocking with Trey Jones. Of course, Devin Vassell, who was out for knee surgery this past season, but he's back. He's healthy. He came back later in the season and he balled out. And of course, Keldon Johnson, who's pretty much the vet of this team, and he got his nice extension. Devin Vassell, I think the Spurs should just pay him an extension this off season, because they do got a lot of cap space to work with. Keldon Johnson, of course, like I said earlier, vet of the team. Jeremy Sohan, the defensive/offensive monster. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some point Sohan here, and we have I don't know, we have Wemby run the four sometimes, and then we have Zach Collins or someone else run the center, and I wouldn't be experimenting with that, because it's gonna be a young, fun team to watch, and I'm so excited to watch the team. Like I said, I'm ready. I hope Wembanyama plays summer league. I hope he plays preseason, because I'm definitely willing to watch it. I hope we can get these subscribers up. We can get a little notice and stuff like that. Just because I want to be able to go to summer league and be able to interview these prospects, especially Victor, since he is going to my favorite team. And let's talk about this new top five. Of course, like we said earlier, the San Antonio Spurs jumped from 3 to the first overall pick, and the Charlotte Hornets jumped up from the 4th overall pick to the 2nd. And I saw some things trending out there that the Hornets don't really have that good luck. Don't have much good luck with the with having the 2nd overall pick. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But of course, with the Anthony Davis year, and I just saw the tweet. It was many other years, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I have 2 players here that they can potentially draft. Of course, you can go best player available, which is Scoot Henderson, which is kind of ruins the mood with not really ruins the mood with LaMelo, but it kind of mixes it up. But I mean, at the same time, you also got to take best player available. It doesn't really matter about fit. Scoot Henderson can play the 1, and then LaMelo Ball can play the 2, and hopefully LaMelo develops, more of a defensive side. And of course, Scoot Henderson's not a slouch on defense, but I mean he is also a smaller guard. And the second person I have here is Brandon Miller, of course, which is the easy one. You have LaMelo, Terry Rozier, and then have Brandon Miller playing that three, and I guess kind of has that leeway for you to be able to get away from PJ Washington and not have to pay him so much money. And of course, at three, the Blazers, I believe, jump from 5 to 3. And here, you got to start thinking life after Dame. You have to. And here, I think to me is pretty much whoever falls to whoever the Hornets don't pick. Like if they pick Scoot Henderson, you have Brandon Miller here, which is perfect for Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp at the 2, and then Brandon Miller at the 3. And you trade Dame, you trade Nurkic to be able to get the young bench dip to get a center, which I think it might be an unpopular opinion. Maybe this is a reset spot for DeAndre Ayton here. I don't know what the whole trade package looks like. I don't know what all that, because I know the Suns don't really have much picks because of the Kevin Durant trade. But you get hopefully like a young center like DeAndre Ayton to pair with a Brandon Miller, to pair with the Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp, which maybe one of them has to be included in the trade. And man, I was thinking the whole time that the Blazers were going to jump up to 1, but I was so happy. Good for them jumping to 3. But I think this is the year to start looking for life after Dame. And I see a few conversations of them maybe trading the pick to get more veterans, to get more like a little bit older. But I think it's just you're pushing it too much now at this point. I think you need to start for your own sake to push the young rebuild. You have Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp. You have the young pieces, the young core, to be able to at least start off with, and that you will be okay with. And I don't know how their pick situations look, but I think they have their picks for the future. But yeah, and then especially with Damian Lillard and trading Yusuf Nurkic, you're gonna get picks back. You're gonna get some sort of pick draft equity back. And for the Houston Rockets, from the second overall dropping all the way to 4, and here, it's not that bad of a spot. It's not the worst case scenario for them. I think the worst they could have dropped was 6. I mean, here you take it. We'll talk about the Pistons right now, but a few players that can drop here is Amin Thompson. You get a point guard. I know there's all the James Harden rumors and all, but I mean, I'm not buying it. I don't even think that the Rockets should really entertain that. I don't think he's the vet to have around these young guys. But Amin Thompson, I've been seeing a lot of Jarris Walker, and I like the idea of it because you can move Jabari Smith to the 3, and I think he feels a little bit more comfortable there. He has to get his footwork a little bit better there, or maybe you can even put Jarris at the 3 or switch whichever you want, and then have Alperen Sengun play the 5, and then switch off with the 4, and of course you have Tari Eason off the bench. And yeah, with the Rockets here, it's not the worst, but it's not the best case scenario for them. And the Pistons, this was absolutely the worst case scenario from them for dropping from the 1st to the 5th overall pick here. And pretty much I've been seeing a lot of Jarris Walker here too, to have next to Jalen Duren. We don't know what's going to happen with James Wiseman and how much the Pistons really believe in him. But I think also here my favorite pick for them is Cam Whitmore, to have Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and then Cam Whitmore. That is, and then have a Jalen Duren. Man, that is a very athletic, fun team right there. And I think I like Cam Whitmore more than Jarris Walker here to the Pistons. And yep, that's a new top 5 right there. And let's get to game 1 of the Lakers versus the Nuggets, with Jokic having 12 rebounds in the first quarter. From the beginning, it just looked like a lot of Nuggets just dominating. They were up double digits the whole entire game. I mean, Anthony Davis here at the end of it had a game 40 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. And until the very end, the Lakers fought. They were coming back in the fourth quarter, but the Nuggets were showing they were on fire. They were the much better team here. And Jokic with an amazing performance. And if he has games like this, it's gonna be a short series. But I mean, I'm not pushing over the Lakers, because the Lakers did ball out. Austin Reeves did have 20. LeBron had over 20, I believe. But Jokic at the end of the day, like I said, 12 rebounds in the first quarter, and then ends up with the 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists, 2 blocks, and he made 3 3-pointers this game. That's like, man, you can, like, for the Lakers, you cannot have these games from Jokic. And usually Jokic has these big games and they lose, but it was Bruce Brown stepping up. It was Jamal Murray, of course, Michael Porter Jr. having some clutch buckets, and I mean that's what it is. That's what these Nuggets are. Their bench depth is deep like that, and that's why I have them winning this series. And of course, you have to win on the road, and I think you have to go up to going to Los Angeles. You're gonna need these 2 wins, because if you can steal one in Los Angeles, you're up 3-1 at home, which I think both teams are undefeated at home right now. Well, actually, the Lakers might have 1 loss, but the Nuggets are undefeated at home in the playoffs. And yeah, here, I mean, Jokic has like these games. I mean, and then he can have slide games. He can have 20 10s and 8 assist games, but then it's just a Jamal Murray game, or it's a Michael Porter Jr. game, or Aaron Gordon has a big game, like, or KCP, and it's just, they have so many weapons for anybody to be able to have a big game, and just Jokic has to be on the board like this. He has to just have a decent game for them to win. And that's why I'm still picking the Nuggets to win. I don't want to really overreact to a game 1, but of course, the Lakers have been balling out. They have been showing why they are here in the Western Conference Finals. And as today, today is game 1 for the Celtics versus the Heat. And I think Jason Tatum's heating up at the right time. He had 51 in Game 7, as we talked about last video, against the Philadelphia 76ers, which the Philadelphia 76ers did dismiss, whatever the quote they said. Instead of saying firing, they fired Doc Rivers, which that's a whole different thing we'll get into a little bit. But here, I don't think the Heat are playing as well as they were. They kind of slowed down the second round, and the Knicks weren't playing as good. They weren't playing that good, but the Heat were just playing a little bit better. They need Jimmy Butler from the first series against the Bucks. They need that Jimmy Butler to be able to win this game. And honestly, I'm going to probably call it Celtics in 5. Yeah, I'm hoping Jason Tatum could step up and just, take care of business early, get this done. So just go see who they're going to play in the finals here. And there has been a lot of rumors that James Harden does want to leave, and he wants to have his own role and all that. And I don't really know where. I don't like Houston. I've seen some Phoenix, but you're back in a situation with Brooklyn. I know it's different, but like they don't even have a head coach right now, especially Monty Williams, and Monty Williams is linked to the Bucks. It's a whole mess right now with the league and James Harden right now. But I think I'm kind of thinking anywhere but Houston, because he says he wants to win a championship. You're not going to do that in Houston right now. I get Houston wants to speed up the rebuild process right now, but I don't think James Harden helps that enough right now, because you're going to end up trading away one of these young players to pair someone else with James Harden, and it's going to be another whole commotion again. And now, let's get to the fun part. UFC announced some fights yesterday. UFC 291, we have Aljamain the Funkmaster Sterling versus Sugar Sean O'Malley, and Weili Zhang versus Amanda Lemos here, both for the belts, and I'm really excited for this. We don't know the rest of the UFC 292. I believe that's August 18th. I know that's in Boston. This is the Boston card, and I like the Sterling O'Malley fight, but I feel like it's pretty quick for a turnaround for Sterling. I hope he can recover fast, get back in shape fast, and I don't want to make a prediction right now, but if I had to say something, if I had to make a prediction right now, I think I'd go Sterling, but I don't really want to underestimate O'Malley. And of course, Weili Zhang versus Amanda Lemos. I have Weili Zhang. She's the champ. She's been on a hot streak right now, and I think I want her versus Jan. I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm just say Jan. I'm hoping for that fight after this, and probably the best card in the whole out of this whole year so far. Maybe there's an argument with International Fight Week, but UFC 291, we have Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje 2 for the BMF belt, and of course this belt's pretty much whoever wins this game, whoever wins this fight is going to be is going to have a chance to the belt. Whoever, I think it's whoever wins between Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira, which I think Beneil's going to win that fight, and whoever wins this fight, I think is going to fight the winner of that, or is just going to wait in line to see who's going to fight Islam for the belt. And I mean, it's good to see the BMF belt is back. I don't know if they're going to bring back The Rock for it. I'm pretty sure they would, but man, UFC 291, this is probably my favorite card. This is probably the most stacked. And we're not even done yet. That was just the main event. Co-main event, we have Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira, his first fight in light heavyweight. And I'm excited to see Alex Pereira, especially Jan Blachowicz, being a big guy. And I think he's just going to try to take down Alex Pereira and see how Alex see how he reacts to that. You know, it could be Jan just goes for a takedown and then Alex just knees him in the face out cold, or he can just take him down and lay on top of him all night. And then the next fight we have Paulo Costas versus Iran. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher this. Aliksurov. I don't know much about Ikran, but you know, Paulo Costas, I think he denied the fight against Robbie Whittaker, which I don't know, man. I guess we're getting Robbie Whittaker versus Duplessis, and I mean that's for the belt against Adesanya. That's cool, but I'd rather have Paulo Costas fight Robbie Whittaker. I think that would have been a much more entertaining fight. But I'm saying that not knowing much about Ikran, and of course I'm gonna do closer to the main event or closer to the fight. I'm gonna be doing my research for Ikran, and I'm excited to see what he's about. And of course, the next one we have Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. This is look like it's Tony Ferguson's retirement fight, and Bobby Green, he had a controversial fight, his last fight with the headbutt, and this is pretty much just an old head fight, which I hope it's entertaining. I hope both of them can their chins can hold up for this fight. And then we have Michael Chiesa, I hope I'm saying that right, versus Kevin Holland, who has been crazy active this past year, and you know, I'm a huge Kevin Holland guy. He's entertaining. The man just talks mess. He talks mess while he fights in the press conference. It doesn't matter, and I'm excited to see this. And then that's the main event. And then now we have the prelims, which is Wonder Boy Thompson versus Michael Pereira. And I don't know much about Michael Pereira. Of course, I'm gonna look more into that, more research when the fight comes closer. And for Wonder Boy to be in the prelims, that is crazy. That's how stacked this whole card is so far. And of course, another one is Derek Lewis. He is in a little losing streak, but it's still Derek Lewis versus Marcos de Lima. And that's going to be a swinging war. And for these two fights to be in a prelim, I mean, I'm excited for that. I'm hyped. UFC 291 is probably going to be, hopefully, I hope they can top it for the rest of the year, but this could potentially be the best card, for the year. I'm excited for it. I want you to comment down below. What do you think of the NBA lottery? What do you think about the Lakers and Nuggets series? And what do you think about the Heat and Celtics? And what do you think about these UFC fights? We're on a goal to hit 100 subscribers at the end of the month. I want you to like and subscribe so we can reach that goal at the end of the month. And don't forget, we will be having more content soon. So we'll see you next time.